Our daily Bible verse for March 31st, 2026 is Acts, and it is chapter 20, verse 24. In the King James Version, we have, "But none of these things move me, neither count I my life dear unto myself, so that I might finish my course with joy and the ministry which I have received of the Lord Jesus, to testify the gospel of the grace of God." In the New International Version, we have, "However, I consider my life worth nothing to me, if only I may if only I may finish the race and complete the task the Lord Jesus has given me, the task of testifying to the gospel of God's grace." So in the contrast table down below, we have but versus however. They're used interchangeably here. None of these things versus I consider. What is he considering? Any of those things that he previously said. Because but or however negates whatever was in the sentence before it. The neither I count my life dear, or on the King James, that's King James says, a New International Version, it's or consider my life worth nothing to me. So in either way, they're like placing the value on my life. Like if people don't like what I have to say, and they might want to kill me, because people did regularly want to kill Paul, and that's who wrote this. And he was just like, yeah, that's nice. They can kill me if they want to. Jesus is who decides to get me into heaven, so that I might, versus if only I may. Sole focus was spreading on the gospel, right? So he didn't really care about the repercussions of anything else. Finish his course versus finish his race. Paul considered the completion of the ministry. How many people could he get to believe Jesus, the race, in the first place? Like his life is the race, but that's really the race. That's really the focus. And the ministry versus complete the task given. So the ministry is the task given, and then received of versus given task the Lord Jesus has given me. So the Lord Jesus did very specifically interrupt Paul in the middle of his persecution of righteous people with a vision that he could see of Jesus that other people could not see. Now, other people did know something happened, and he did spontaneously become blind. And I'll be very clear, that can happen. If you have a certain type of traumatic head injury in a particular place in your brain, you can become spontaneously blind. You can also have that happen if you are in a severe enough emotional response. Like if there is a complete shock to your system in a way that you could not handle. Not only could you temporarily forget things, your brain can temporarily forget how to see. Because how we see and what we see is not just as simple as we think it is. There's a bunch of nerve endings that are involved there. And if any one of them gets damaged, it throws off that whole sense. Isn't that weird? We like to think of what we see is, of course, it's just whatever is immediately in front of us and where our eyes are open and it functions. But no, just like a lot of other things function in ways that we don't fully understand, especially if we're not even in that industry. You could have everything else working in your life, and your brain just decided it doesn't want to do that thing anymore. Now, it doesn't just do it out of nowhere. Usually something very traumatic happens. And I'm telling you, for Paul, his whole life being lived under the Pharisee mindset, when suddenly Jesus is in his life, and they're going, oh, no. The people you thought were right your whole life were wrong. The people you thought were experts in that subject matter were wrong. And let that sit with you. Just because something is the popular convention doesn't mean It's what the good Lord wants.